the way whore. That's the one for me. He's the only one I need. Okay, sorry. Sorry, my elbows are ashy. I took a shower and I ran to therapy. I had to talk to you guys. Gotta let it out. All right, anyway. So, what comes to mind is a few of these around the way whores, right? By the way. So, but what comes to mind right away, off the top of my head, top of the dome, was when and why he was living here, right? Like, this was like maybe that last year before he got kicked out. This is around the time I had the car accident coming home from work in the Uber, right? My back and my neck was really injured. Not saying that just to get a check. No. I have real documents, real receipts where they was really injured. I'm good now. But this was like almost 4 years ago. So I was even put out of work from the doctor for 3 months. So while I was out of work, he would take our youngest to school, right? And at that time, she went to school downtown, which is a whole nother story in itself. If y'all think that I've been talking about my ex and his ex-wives, I haven't even scratched the surface yet, okay? Because we have like over 20 years of stories. Some I'm gonna leave for books, some I'm gonna leave for television, and some I'm gonna share with you guys, you know? So anyway, so he would have to take her, the youngest one, to school. Now, they would leave at a certain time to catch a certain bus so she could be on time, right? So he would leave at a specific time every day, right? Whether it was the time to catch that bus or not. Because mind you, I know what time the bus came because I used to take her myself, you know? I would take her myself sometimes. So I know exactly what time the bus came. So sometimes he would leave before that time. Well, actually, most of the time, he would leave before that time. At a specific time. So it would be some days he would leave without the baby. I'm like, hey, you're leaving the baby. You're leaving the baby. Why don't you, remember, my neck, my back. You're leaving. How you gonna leave without the baby? And the nigga would just leave this specific time. So either injured and all, I had to take her, even though I could barely walk, let alone up some stairs. I would literally cry when I had to walk upstairs. That's how much pain I was in. But he put me through that. But that's neither here nor there. So he would leave at a specific time. So I'm like, what's up with this time? So it'd be some days, if she wasn't ready yet, he would still leave out at that specific time. So I don't know, something, God said, look at the time. So I looked at the time. Okay. I noticed the time. I'm like, interesting. Okay. So then I started noticing that he would leave at that specific time every single day. Whether it was, he would say that he's checking the weather. I'm like, what are you, weatherman? What do you mean checking the weather? Turn the TV on and see what the weather is. Or go on your phone and see what the weather is. You have to go outside to see what the weather is. Okay. Interesting. So, I noticed a pattern. So I'm like, interesting. So one day, I had to take her to school, right? So I decided to leave at that specific time. I wanted to know what was out there. Was it raining money? Like, what was out there at that specific time? So I left at that time that he would leave all the time. Me and my baby to take her to school. So as I'm locking my door, before I can get to my exit door, someone just magically opened the door. I'm like, did an angel? Well, my angels walk with me every day, all day. But did the angel go ahead of me and just swing the door with me? That was so nice of you, angel. So when I stepped out, to her surprise and my surprise, it was a whore on the other side of the door. And I was like, oh, that's why he leave every day at this specific time. Now it all makes sense in the world. So as this whore is holding the door, thinking that it's him, I was like, it's not him, it's his wife. Leaving her standing there looking real stupid and dumb in the face. And I just kept walking because I got it. I put two and two together. I said, oh, got it. Interesting. And this was around the time of my accident. So shortly after that, he was gone anyway. Not going on his own. He was put out. Like literally. It took me stages and steps. But you got to watch the other videos to understand all that. But yeah. I was like, wow. This nigga is super, super duper disrespectful. And this whore. Wow. So that was just one of the whores, right? One. And she happened to live in the building. So she could come down the stairs and I guess they would meet right there in that hallway. And they would leave probably together. Who knew? Who knew? Going to say something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's one. We have more. So then I guess after he was put out, all of them was mad at me. It's like she was still leaving out at the same time, hoping that he would come out at that time, but she would never see him because he was gone. That was it. And then it was another whore. I would meet up at the bus stop. Well, it was a couple of whores I'd meet at the bus stop, like 3 of them. I was like, damn, this nigga was busy. And how I would always know is because how they would stare at me. I'm like, okay, lived here for a nice amount of time, befriended no one, said hi and bye to a few people that said hi and bye to me, of course, mostly guys, and some older people, some senior people that respected me, and I respect them. So yeah, that was one whore. Then the few whores that I would see at the bus stop would just mainly stare at my youngest child. And that was how they connected me to him through her. So they would stare at her. And I'm like, why are they staring at my baby? Like, I know she cute and all that, but why are they staring at her? So they was putting the face together. They're like, wait a minute. That's the little girl. That's his daughter that he takes to school every morning. So that got to be the mom, the wife. So that was the stares I would get. And that was how I started putting it together, because they couldn't contain themselves. They would stare at me. And I'm like, what are you looking at? You know what I mean? Then he has, but I will break all of them down eventually in another video. I'm just saying a lot in a little bit of time. There's another whore that would follow me with her puppy, like a puppy. She would follow me like a puppy with her puppy. She would have a puppy, but be following me like a puppy. And I'm like, what's wrong with this whore? Like, why don't I turn around? She right there staring in my face. What? You know what I mean? And the whore with the puppy, after she would see me, she would text him, I saw your wife. And how I knew this, because I had his access to everything for about 2 good years. Everything. Messages, emails, Instagram message, everything, you name it, access to all. And I watched it for 2 years, 2 long years, like the FBI. I could have been an FBI agent. I should have been. But anyway, so I would see the pattern of the texts and the messages and where he's meeting people and all that. I knew it for a long time. So if I was a real crazy person, yeah, I had them. But I just wanted evidence for divorce court so I can get divorced and might change. You know what I mean? Because I knew he would never just give it to me. I had to have proof. So I started collecting proof. That's what I started to do. For anybody that's wondering or thinking. So yeah, and they would text him. When she would text him and be like, I saw your wife. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what type of whore are you? Like, oh my goodness, like, y'all don't have no type of dignity, no self-respect, no morals. Like, who raised y'all whores where it's okay in your head and heart to know a person is married, living with their significant other, trying to raise a family, and you whores are something else. And that's why I say we're not the same at all. But that's another video for another time again. But yeah, so the puppy whore, the puppy, she would follow me around and let him know, text him, I saw your wife. I'm like, did you? Oh, so that was you, whore, that was staring at me in a little corner, just watching me. Oh, that was you. That whore with the puppy will also let him know. This is before I transferred my daughter's school to downtown. She was like, I saw her. She left. She had this on, this and that, like updates. Yeah. So I patiently waited because I had transferred her again, and didn't tell him. I said, let's see which one of these whores are gonna let him. No, I do not have access to any of his stuff because I could care less. When I put him out, that was the end of that. Could care less. When he would come pick up stuff, he would have phone open and all that. Care less. Don't care. Get out. Don't care. What you're doing, who you're doing it with. I don't care. So, no, I don't care. So it's not that type of party. I'm just saying. But yeah, it was really weird. So the whore with the puppy, right? Before I get to her exactly, when and why he was still living here, and like we would have the shades and the windows and stuff open, it was always a whore from directly in the next building, right? Directly across from us. Directly, right? Same floor as me. So directly would like be in her window, just staring into our window, like she's watching TV, like watching us move through the house, to the kitchen, to the living room, just watching us. And I'm like, I would always tell him, like, look, we have people watching us from a whole nother building. Like, that's real creepy. Like, who does that? And he would look and act like he don't see. But I would always catch four with this whore. I'm like, why is this whore watching? What's going on? Long and behold, the whore with the puppy that was following me and texting him, I see your wife. It was that whore. Same whore that was watching us from the next building, directly into my building. Same whore. I was like, this is very interesting. Very interesting. This nigga's very disrespectful. But I gotta stop now. We will pick up with the other whores that was in the other building across that he think I don't know. Yeah. And then there was another whore that lived with her man. I don't know if it was the next building or the building behind that. But yeah. Her too. She think, he think, she think, he think, I don't know. But yeah, we'll get back to all these whores. So please stay tuned. So much more to uncover. But as we are doing it, I'm feeling so good. Thank y'all for listening.